Let's say you want to expose Trump's crimes. You want to get Trump into court and prosecuted and put on trial so he can't run for president again. How are you going to do it? You have to solicit your sources in order to get them to give you something. You have to, or else, and only through your confidence and your aggressive pursuit of whatever they have, are you going to show them that you're serious? And two, are you going to get anywhere in securing that information that is going to give you the report that you want to show people what Donald Trump has been doing, what you suspect? I mean, you're motivated to go after it because you suspect. So these are hunches. I put in a more alternative media or independent context. This is what Cy Hirsch is doing right now with the Nord Stream pipeline. He's got a hunch. He's pursuing it. He's finding people who will talk to him, who have access to information. He's putting it together. He's collecting information to piece together a conspiracy. He is soliciting information. It's what journalists do.
Right. Thank you. I've said that before. I said that when we were talking to Matt Taibbi. I'm like, people, you realize that the job of the journalist is to gather the information, curate the information, and explain. Like, you realize that that's him, and he should also make money doing his job. Like, I don't understand how somehow this got lost.
The problem is that on the Democratic side in particular, and it's amazing how easily you can peg people who watch MSNBC or CNN on the regular.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they complain all the time about Fox News. Well, you're a drone just the same if you watch the other two networks. And so, you know, journalism in many ways has, especially on the Democratic side, has evolved into stenography. It's not about doing journalism as much as it's about being in the elite class, especially in DC, in San Francisco and New York and places like that. Doing investigative journalist involves looking like Greg Palast, having the hat.
Okay,
looking,
he does.
You know, basically, you know, the old time journalist with the pencil in the ear and the notepad and stuff like that. No, that's not what we, yeah, exactly. That's not what we want our journalists to be. We want our journalists to be Ivy League schmucks like everybody else. And
talking heads. But those aren't journalists. Those are talking heads.
But to the liberal who buys into this idea that Julian Assange should be hanged for treason, they think that journalists are people like, pick any person at random.
Wolf Blitzer.
Like Philip Bump.
Any of
like
those people.
Phil Bump would be a great example, or Chris Cillizza would be a great example of that particular class who they think are journalists, but in reality, they're just partisan hacks. That's all they are. And they're paid very well to be them.
Okay, so I wanted to bring up something, and I was waiting until we were dragging the media because I have to just tell you that I'm very amused by the review that was printed by the film critic for the New York Times of this Ithaca film.
Oh, okay. So for anyone who doesn't know, Ithaca is the documentary that is about John Shipton, that's Julian Assange's father, and his pursuit of justice for Julian. And I know it's about other things as well, but that's the perspective of the movie, yes?
Yes, yeah. And just a plug that people should be on the lookout. They are coming to many different cities through the United States over the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Ithaca with a K, not Ithaca, like my son's school.
Ithaca with the K. And so I think they just replaced their longtime film critic retired. And I don't know if this person is going to be their film critic, but they apparently went through quite an unjust experience having to watch this film because they write they call it a frustrating new advocacy documentary about the WikiLeaks founder. And they write twice that Ithaca is a frustrating advocacy documentary. And then let me see, where else do they do this? They do this. Yeah, they do this twice. They have to tell us that they're frustrated by watching the documentary no less than 2 times. And like to feel that afflicted from having to watch a movie that was made about this person is, I mean, it's like, I don't know who you are, but they then go on to say things like, the documentary insists that the computer hacker. So also the thing that they're doing throughout this is they're weaving in their own misplaced and ill-conceived notions of who Julian Assange is. And it's a really eye-opening view of Julian Assange. Here, I'll just read it for you. You can pick up on all the red flags. Julian Assange's legal travels began in 2010 when Swedish prosecutors ordered his detention on suspicion of rape and sexual coercion. You have to lead with that.
Right.
To avoid being extradited to Stockholm, Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, jumped bail and took refuge in the Ecuadorian embassy in London. Okay, so you're accepting the U.S. government that it's not okay for him to seek political asylum. Then today he's in London's Belmarsh prison fighting extradition to the United States on 17 counts of violating the Espionage Act. Yet, Ithaca, frustrating advocacy documentary directed by Ben Lawrence, produced by Assange's brother Gabriel Shipton, argues that Assange's most crucial trial is in the court of public opinion. The documentary insists the computer hacker who's accused of publishing classified government documents is the victim of a smear campaign. What exactly those smears are, the film declines to specify or debunk. On your own, you may recall that the viral stories about Assange have ranged from criminal to embarrassing, like when Ecuador said its increasingly unwelcome guest needed to tidy up after his cat. That's not even like on the top 15 of whatever I've heard about Julian, but okay. Free speech advocates looking to hear a strong argument defending Assange against those espionage charges will not find one here. Only vague calls to protect the First Amendment. We're told the case is unjust, but never told why, or even what exactly the case is. Instead, the documentary repeats three monotonous points. Journalists lie. Regardless, Assange is a journalist who deserves protection. Also, his family misses him a heck of a lot. I mean, look, this is such like smug garbage.
It is.
It's the New York Times.
That's such trash. That is.
What do you expect from the newspaper that endorsed?
I know, but I'm still going to critique it. I'm still going to critique it on the basis of what I'm reading on the page. I'm sorry.
It's just such. That's trash to me. Like I don't value that news outlet. I haven't in probably 40 years.
Hey, listen, they clearly felt bothered enough by what you wrote to have to write a smear article about it. To basically say, yeah, don't read this. This is...
No, it was about the movie.
Oh, the movie. Right. Yeah. But
yeah.
Still, they don't want to cover.
They don't care. They're state-sponsored media. I love when people talk about other countries that have state-sponsored media, like as if we don't have that.
I like talking to certain people that I know pretty well that still read the New York Times thinking that that's news.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.